Hello everyone, my name is Tina Economou and I work at the Clover Public Library in South Carolina. This is my second video about using the UN Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, at my public library to create a more sustainable future. This video focuses on how we, as a public library, can promote health and well-being for seniors in the community. This presentation is grounded in the third SDG, good health and well-being. The UN website states, ensuring healthy lives and promoting the well-being at all ages is essential to sustainable development. Our branch prides itself on providing programs for all ages, from birth and beyond. However, we do not have any programs designed for seniors. This presentation looks at ways our public library can offer resources, services, and programs for the older, aging population at the branch. Specifically, I hope we can provide more resources to help our patrons with their health and well-being towards the end of their life. This time in a person's life can be complicated, confusing, and isolating, and it is my hope that public libraries can better help our patrons navigate this period. Books about the aging process and mortality are important for all public library collections. I would like an increase in materials that provide patrons the information about end-of-life choices, experiences, and philosophies. By providing our patrons with resources about this last and least understood phase of life, our older patrons will develop a stronger sense of autonomy, which will contribute to their overall well-being. I provide a recommended list of books at the end of this presentation, but I will share the criteria I used in developing this list. It is my hope you can use these points as justification for purchasing these books. I selected materials based on authorship. I chose materials written by a doctor of medicine or someone who has a national reputation in their field. I considered the ease of understanding the material. I sought out material that was not too dense. I highlighted reviews for books that emphasize the book's digestibility. These books are current. While the topic of death has been around forever, we do not want materials that have incorrect information about end-of-life choices. I would recommend limiting books published from the last decade. For many nonfiction categories, material older than a couple years is too outdated, but for this collection, there are certain works that capture the experience of dying in a way that is timeless. Some items in the collection should focus on the emotional aspect of aging, and newly released material on this topic is not necessarily better. These materials should be informative yet sensitive. I looked for books that cover end-of-life experiences in an informative and sensitive manner. I tried to steer clear of materials that appeared overly sentimental or full of cliches. I searched for reviews that highlight an item's level of detail and straightforwardness pertaining to aging and dying. Lastly, it is important to make sure these materials are accessible. Many of these books have large print editions, and when possible, audio versions of these titles should be purchased. These considerations are important for patrons who have difficulty holding a physical item or reading smaller print. Moving on from collection development, I would like to talk about services the library can offer. It would be valuable to have professionals come to the library to offer their expertise and knowledge about topics regarding health and well-being for our older senior citizens. This professional speaker series can include a presentation from a hospice representative. Many people have misconceptions or simply do not know about the services hospice offers. Nonprofit hospice centers in particular are happy to provide outreach to public libraries to explain how they can help their community members. For this project, I contacted and asked Franklin Pendleton, a local lawyer who works in the town of Clover, to address the legal knowledge people should be aware of towards the end of their life. Pendleton is excited to talk to our patrons about confusing topics such as wills and probate, healthcare coverage, and power of attorney. Lastly, I contacted Trey Gross, a funeral director. Gross was also enthusiastic about coming to the library to discuss the different options people have when it comes to their funeral arrangements. He said people have misconceptions about funerals. Although it sounds obvious, he would explain the difference between burials and cremations. For example, you can still have a service or viewing even if you choose cremation. He noted that veterans might not be aware of special services entitled to them, such as free burial in a national cemetery. He expressed a great interest in answering patrons' questions about funerals in general. I also want to provide programs where seniors can be active participants, programs that help our older patrons directly with their physical and emotional health and well-being in real time. Tai Chi programs are an excellent way to accomplish this goal. Tai Chi helps reduce stress. The movements are designed to relax your body and clear your mind. Tai Chi also helps increase oxygen flow. Tai Chi is very intentional about breathing. Instructors will direct participants to breathe deeply, resulting in increased oxygen flow. The added oxygen combined with reduced stress work together to enhance a person's mental capacity and ability to concentrate. Tai Chi reduces blood pressure. As participants relax and intentionally breathe more, blood pressure will lower, which is especially beneficial for seniors. For those suffering from arthritis, movement may not sound like a fun activity. However, Tai Chi's simple, gentle, and fluid movements are exactly what the body needs to remain loose and flexible. Tai Chi improves balance. As you flow between movements, people will quickly learn what side has less balance or what poses are particularly challenging. Lastly, Tai Chi helps with recovery from strokes and heart attacks. Oxygen intake, mental concentration, and balance are major areas that need strengthening after a major health event, and Tai Chi focuses on all three. These programs will most likely have to be supported by your adult programming budget. It is therefore pivotal to have the support of the adult programming librarian. I recommend that you emphasize the low cost of these programs. The professional speakers will all present free of charge. It is important to remind the lawyer and funeral director that they are not to promote their individual businesses. The Tai Chi instructor I contacted will charge $35 an hour for senior sessions. I would emphasize that this cost is all-inclusive. No additional programming money is needed for supplies for the program, nor will the adult programmer have to prep anything themselves. It is essentially a ready-made program. I would also make the case that having these programs will bring more people into the library, and therefore they will become aware of already existing library programs. Seniors might start attending the already existing painting and crafting classes the adult programmer provides, and this will help boost the adult programming numbers. I would recommend having a fun name for these senior programs. For example, you might call the professional speaker series Aging Well with Wisdom. Once these programs are started, it is important to solicit feedback from the seniors attending. What speakers would they like? What resources are we missing? And what programs interest them? Our older populations may have difficulties making it out to the library. Therefore, I recommend recording the professional speakers and putting the sessions on flash drives. Patrons then can view the presentations at a later date from the comfort of their homes. If your library has a bookmobile, coordinating with them to see if they can deliver resources to homebound patrons is a wonderful idea. I would also contact your local senior center to find out if their members are interested in these library resources and programs. For patrons who are able to make it out and attend the Tai Chi sessions, there should be safety precautions in place. I would ask the Tai Chi instructor to provide modifications for those who feel more comfortable doing Tai Chi while sitting in a chair. Although injuries are not common with Tai Chi, it is important to have a staff member and a working phone in the room with the Tai Chi program so that 911 can be called swiftly should someone fall. While the topics of aging and preparing for death are often considered taboo or difficult, they are unavoidable realities in the lives of our patrons. By providing resources, services, and programs that delve into the realities of aging, we are better contributing to our older patrons' well-being and health. I would like to conclude with a quote from Jennifer Downey, a reference librarian. She states that as librarians, we have a responsibility to put our own prejudices and fears aside and to go about our work with open minds. It is not always easy. It takes courage and self-reflection. It means asking ourselves the tough questions and being honest with our answers.